tanking. This is just the dream hero to secure your mid lane as well. Because I feel like Tim's is this guy that's always going to look to secure Yopaj's lane, and Mirana is so good at finding those. Yeah, and I think Ursa really amplifies that, because Ursa, you know, when you're in rage and just in general, you can get pretty tanky, but I feel like early to mid game, they're going to be very reliant on Shanks' Hoodwink to be like a kind of damage dealer alongside the Batrider of Bob. Underlord, low damage hero, Omniknight, 0 damage hero, and Tiny does damage once you come online, but that's like realistically at least 2 items, Echo Saber plus like Shadow Blade, maybe even more. So I do feel like this early to mid game is going to be very boom favored. See how he's going to fare. One thing I did check when the Ursa came out, so Jackie has played this hero 4 times in the last like 6 months. He's only won 1 of those 4 games. Some of that may not have been on Boom. This is just his individual record on that hero recently, but he's not a big Ursa player, so we'll see if that kind of comfort factor comes into play. Yeah. The one thing I do really like about what Underlord has done, it was like early Gloves of Haste. This is sick. Like, you're getting this bonus from the Trophy Aura, maybe even see it a second point at level 3. That's where I feel like it really gets value. And the gloves just allow you to just secure last hits, deny, and harass for damage. Digging what we're seeing there. Probably a lane where there's going to be, you know, more of a focus on farming. But there is some battling going on. Looking to fight under the fire, so they're kind of daring Boom to go on him. That 21 ready to go as well. See if he pops it maybe to get some money. He's getting poked at here. The flame break coming out. He's going to pop his wand and start building up those new stacks. And that's the issue. Storm loves mana, and Batrider's just going to keep giving him mana with the max wand.
See someone bleed out?
All over the rune. Bob gets it.
Let's get started. Why limit that fella right
Too long, maybe.
Is under attack.
Yeah, guaranteed kill with the flame break, but heads up from Execration, Bob had no chance of getting the top rune, because that's where the Mirana was. This is like classic Boom. They love to rotate their supports, not just for the 6-minute power runes like many teams do, but they're doing it 4 minutes. If Yopaj is winning his lane mid, you bet those supports are going to prevent the enemy mid laner, if they have a bottle, from getting a water rune. So we saw it last game, we see it here again. This time around, Execration adapted from game 2 and make sure they bring the supports themselves to secure a rune.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It was not love, but skill.
Ow, Bob gets the solo kill mid. Does die with
Dire's
the
middle
Mirana
tower
showing
is
up.
under attack.
Looks like he, got the kill behind the tower. It's this Bob versus Yopaj honestly has been the story of today. That has just been such a fun matchup to watch game after game.
Dire's middle
Game 2 was
tower is
Yopaj.
under
Game 1
attack.
was kind of even. Game 2 was Yopaj, and so far Game 3 has been Bob. So
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Dire's courier has been killed. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
on the other side of the map, Skem's train has been constantly blocking these ancients. Unfortunately, even though he fights off a bit more than he can shoot, he'll get chased down, but these ancients are not spawning. Which is a lot of farm that is not available to Bob for now. They dewarded again. So there's been like 4 or 5 sentries. No, sorry, it's blocked again. So yeah, Boom just keep blocking it. Sentry after sentry. Double sentry on, Underlord. I don't know if he, it looks like RR both. Yeah,
Radiant structures
probably the
are
Hoodwink saying like,
fortified.
I don't want to buy sentries. I don't even have boots. Like the 4th position is full. So it's the, bit of
Dire's
deja vu.
top tower is under attack.
Yep. FBZ Sandking looked great in last game. Had like a double kill by himself, and this time, not by himself, but he's crushing this game once again in the farm and crushing his lane.
Guess it's my shout.
The issue is this, like, it's so hard to secure your safe lane with the Omniknight. It just made their lane a little bit too weak. I feel like, other than the Omni, I liked Execration's draft, but what we're gonna have to see is what we saw in game 1, which is a lot of just jungle farming from Palos. But if they learned anything from that game 1, they're gonna contest this jungle farm. Palos has gone Midas tiny, no boots, nothing, just rush this Midas. So we're in for some greed for Execration. This is not your typical tiny build.
Dire's middle
Absolutely,
tower is
yeah.
under attack.
Batrider, he'll create space for you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Find always, but you're Boom, you're thinking let's just keep playing around our Sankey. He's got a blink now, so it's hunting season, and Boom, I don't think you're just looking for this Omniknight. You want to take this top tier 1 tower at
Dire's
some point. It
top
just
tower
means
is
full
under
access to
attack.
the jungle, but more likely we want Sanking like invading this jungle where the Tiny's trying to farm, or collapsing on the mid lane where Bob is. Tiny's already left this jungle, I think, just feeling it's not safe. This time around, Tim's is putting wards in the jungle, so I mean, game 1, I remember watching this game thinking, like, how are they just letting Palos free farm his jungle? Usually you get forced to your triangle. This time around, they're actually
Are
invading.
scanning.
Gold and
Dire's
sweet.
middle tower is under attack.
It's still earn charges. Yeah, they'll take anything they can. Is it earn charges? He lives.
Radiant's bottom
my.
tower is under
Huge.
attack.
Heavenly.
Dire's
Everyone just
middle
underestimates
tower is
the
under attack.
bonus strength from Heavenly Grace, I feel like. Everyone's too used to old Omniknight where it's just like repel. Heavenly Grace before it gives strength. Bottom lane now. Golem looking to make a play.
Over here now. Zip zap. Zap.
I thank you.
Showing up though. He's looking
Invisibility.
for some prey. Taking the tower that fast, but is going to be active. But you know, Tiny's in a decent position with his fast Midas. Like, we're going to see Tiny just farm it up while the rest of the team try and
Dire's
make these
bottom
plays.
tower is under attack.
Tips in the night.
Radiant's bottom
Ian, they want to
tower
defend this.
is under
Morana's
attack.
here. Gonna just snipe that siege wagon, and that. I think at this point, if you're XctN, ditch this blue. There's
Dire's
living
turret
armor,
has
no
been
siege
killed.
wagon. Maybe you just. I mean, get your farm down here. This is like a pretty nice place to be farming with the enemy jungle
Denied.
plus the waves, but don't think they're getting this tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let's say, unlike Boom, XctN haven't really had anyone able to farm or defend top. They are going to send Bob up there with a boot of travel. He's still hiding. He doesn't feel safe. He's just letting this
Dire's
tower
top
get
tower
low and even
is under
deniable.
attack.
Like, this is not a good place to be, but Sank FBZ coming up is going to probably look for this tower, and Bob is there to punish. What a bait. No?
Killing spree.
Got the deny, yeah. Great bait. He was very patient there,
Dire's
knowing the
top tower
Sanking was
has been
around and
denied.
almost, you know, it looked like no one was defending. Like, I don't think FBZ makes any kind of a mistake there. It's just Bob thinking 2 steps ahead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep. And Tiny this whole time. Again, just farming away.
Shadows.
Take
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
No more. Oh, they've got Dust on Omni, but yeah, it looks like you say, just they didn't spot him at all.
Prize is mine.
Epicenter. Omni's there.
Where's the party? Whoa, what'd I miss?
That's indeed.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm going to GA.
Told you a storm was coming.
These Sanking Mirana Storm, these are just these low cooldown spells. They're always going to be ready to fight, and Omniknight, you know, level 1 heal is just not
Dire's
going to really
middle
cut it
tower
there.
is under attack.
Unfortunately, yeah, the Tiny on the front line is just maybe overestimating his survivability and tankiness with the Omni behind. Like, he Heavenly Graces off the Barrow Strike, but the arrow still lands afterwards, so just very tricky situation to play in since the Heavenly Grace doesn't give the status resist anymore.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. I think XctN can't treat this
Dire's
Omni like
middle
it's this
tower is
guaranteed
under
save
attack.
for their frontline cores. They need Tiny to get more farm. Tank here. They're going to get picked off all over the map here. Another Barrow Strike in the arrow. This FBZ Tim's combo has just been the backbone of Boom for here so
Dire's
far in
middle
game number
tower
3.
is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Gratitude.
Oh no. This tower is, yeah, level 4 living armor. This tower is hard to kill. Scam? Ooh.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
God.
Here I am.
Hey. This is better. It's on the Underlord.
Let the fun begin.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
With the sharpshooter.
I didn't feel like staying in today.
Here comes Tiny too. They want to keep chasing. Be careful. There's a blink fire strike. Yeah. Fire strike into arrows a lot of damage if they overcommit here. Yeah. And that fight goes okay though. They adapted to where things went wrong last time and have the Underlord frontlining, so it's like very much like a, you know, you can go on that Underlord and kill him, but that means Sand King has to commit a blink fire strike, and the second he does, we're gonna go on Sand King. Even though he lives, it's the Storm who overcommits a little bit. So Bob positioned and played that kind of, I mean, I don't know if you can call it a push, but he you know, he played that fight really well with his position.
You had your warning.
Storm well and truly online here in the early game. A pretty good game, 6-2-4. A lot of pressure going to be on Palace's rocky shoulders here this game. The Tiny needs to keep up the farm and really accelerate. Ursa going for this Battle Fury build means that, you know, it's going to be the slower paced Ursa. This is like, I was going to say more old school Ursa, but like it went, you know, obviously old school Ursa was more about the Mask of Madness, then it became the Battle Fury. Then more recently, we've gone back to like Diffusal and stuff.
Dire's
But
top tower is under
you know,
attack.
one of the few heroes that still occasionally buys Battle Fury and looking to keep up and farm with Tiny.
Shadows take us.
Shadow. Oh, sees it.
Huzzah!
A lot of chain route against the Storm. Not sure if you can't fully chain it with just the level 1 Pit of Malice. I think you need like at least like level 3, I want to say, maybe level 2. I think Storm has to be a bit more careful when he's diving in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh yeah. Where Boom may slow this game down just so Yopaj can farm a BK. That's that BK.
Zip!
All greedy.
I present forest fires.
That bait on the rune there. Nicely done by Boom, just patiently waiting and hoping that he would go for that. And now they're into the Roshan pit with Arrow and an Ursa. Come Execration, they have no Batrider, but they want to defend this one. He may buy back. They've got an outpost for him to TP to.
Oh!
Getting very low.
Is mine! Zap! Puddin' pop!
Heavenly Grace Tiny. 3.2k health with the Heavenly Grace Tiny is a problem.
The prize is mine.
I'm over here!
Walk away with an Aegis though. An Aegis on
Radiant's
Storm
middle
means that
tower is
Yopaj
under attack.
doesn't have to be quite as fearful about
Radiant
committing in and getting maybe
structures
caught by all those disables, but there is a lot of stuns and disables. Respawning without a BKB could, you know, you could just be respawning into a Pit of Malice or something.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under
Trying to
attack.
get that first tower hit. It feels like a trap though. Here comes Yopaj. The edge of it.
Over here now!
I'll sacrifice it.
Huzzah!
Oh, they're diving in deep for more. This Storm. No roots to... Well, there's other stuns to worry about, yeah. I think he saw Bob bottom, so he's like, okay, there's heroes here. Well, let's go kill him, but... Good defense from Boom. They're just not letting a single tower go. This living armor, and there's just the scariness of their initiation. Like, they have so much insta-burst damage with the Sand King. Rana stun, Storm zipping in. But it's just so hard for Execration to... Like, when you're pushing, you're revealing your position and making it easy for the Sand King and the Storm to jump to you.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Over here! Invisibility!
Yeah. Jackie's just been all in on the farming. Has more CS than the Tiny this game. Just being very efficient. I think recognizing that, you know, Ursa versus Tiny matchup is pretty good for the Ursa later on in this game, as long as he can keep up and farm. If he doesn't go this Battle Fury build, he's going to be, you know, 3 to 5k net worth behind a Tiny, and the matchup maybe doesn't go as well. Basically, he's the plan B if this like early to mid game aggression and fighting doesn't give Boom a big enough lead. They've got the late game potentially secured as well. Up along.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Storm loves these games where the enemy are kind of split up, trying to, like, they see Palos top, and that means the second Storm sees Palos top, he's like, okay, I'll jump anyone I see around these. He knows he's got backup from his team with the blink on Sand King and the blink on Ursa, so really heads up play. Hey. Light Shadow, I believe Execration should know this is coming, yeah. Oh no, Bob.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Blown away!
It's just like, can I go through this? But,
Huzzah!
God, that would be... that's going to happen one day in a Pro Dota game. Yeah, the big... unfortunate. Bob blinks in as FBD does. Like, they just synced up their blinks, and that means it looked like Bob literally blinks on nothing. FBZ kind of does the same, but the thing is with Bob, he blinks into, like, all these enemy heroes, and suddenly he's getting Fire Strike because of it, so... Bit of unlucky timing, because he had the vision, so, he was trying to play around this high ground vision, and FBZ was just making a bold play to jump high ground there that catched him by surprise. Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nice arrow. Oh.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just... great aggression. They do lose Yopaj in that fight. Storm going down there, but Skem just showing up with a perfect backline 3-hero overgrowth. Really enabling Jackie this game. He's just been having a field day in these fights. This just feels like there's no answers to the Ursa. They're going to need like some Yule Scepters or something. Like they've got no one going Yules. It's usually the item you want against the Ursa, since you can kite him during the enrage, but it's tough because like Batrider also probably wants a BKB at some point. He's not going one, maybe just feeling like he can't farm it quickly enough. He's got 4-star speed up. I don't think there's any obvious answers to how to play this. They go on Ursa. Oh, that's Great move.
Huzzah!
When you mentioned the start, you know, it's getting late. That feels like one of those kills that, you know, if this was game one and, you know, you're fully focused and sharp. I don't think that's a mistake Jackie's making, but we're approaching midnight in Southeast Asia, and these teams have been playing and waiting a while for this series. Yes. Send it for you.
Where's the body? That's looking for me! Oh! Over here now! No!
Yeah, they've lost all their disabled.
Blow the man down!
Yep. Last fight he didn't get to shine because he got focused with the Ursa popping off. In this fight, he's like, okay, no Ursa, no problem. I'll bait my Sand King, and once they threw all those spells on the Sand King, there's just nothing left for Yopaj. You kill the Underlord. He used his BKB to kill the Underlord, and then when it wears off, none of those roots are there for him to worry about. So, very well played team fight.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Over here now!
Yeah. Every time they go for these enemy tier 1s, something bad happens. They very much could have just played this like a farming game. Like, they want to defend their towers, but it feels like they've really tried to force these enemy tier 1s, and every single time it's backfired. Because they were keeping up and Tiny was free farming. Like, if they just defended their area in the map rather than trying to, like, you know, take over and invade booms, I think this game would have gone a lot better for them. But that's maybe just a bit of the inexperience showing, like, playing against the Treant Protector and the scary initiation with Link Sand King.
Shadows take us.
Dire are scanning.
Gold and sweet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
Scary
is
one.
under attack.
Use cooldown and just being able to use out some of these stuns. Storm is in again. Yopaj
Zip! Ha-ha!
is happy to, I mean, at this point he's just like, you know, psychological damage. Yeah, it's just a support, and it is, you know, 8-second BKB, but Yopaj is happy just to play around any duration of BKB this game, as long as he can just go in and have that immunity. Oh, that's high.
Dire's
That's
top
high.
tower has
That's
fallen.
big.
Radiant's bottom tower
Look,
is under
it's
attack.
reassuring they can get a tower, okay? It's like, they've been trying. They darned us to get a tower, and they finally do it. I mean, Tiny just had to get big enough that he could just go and swat it, I guess.
Huzzah!
The shard, which I believe is best on Earth. I don't think it's a storm shard. 1.5-second enrage. Is it the storm shard?
Immortality
No.
is mine!
Ursa gets it, and the Axe 600 away. This is a massive power spike for Boom, who are, if not going high ground, they're just gonna be taking, like, completely taking over, starving out the map, giving Execration nothing to farm, and really building up a massive lead.
Huzzah!
That's a big if, though, because the issue is I think they're just, I mean, they've got some decent wards down bottom, but wherever Boom are playing, you're not going to have vision because they've got this gem on Mirana now, and it just feels like they're controlling the vision game around the key parts of the map. But, I mean, Execration still have some good wards. They have 3 wards down littering the map, which haven't been dewarded, so it's still pretty nice, but their focus is up top.
Ha! Oh!
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Needs to be careful. He's in a very dangerous position. FBZ may come hunting for him. Catches wind of the jungle being farmed. But it looks like FBZ is just going to go push up bottom. But one of the weaknesses of Ursa, this hero is one of the worst carries at breaking enemy bases, pushing high ground. It's just not something the hero does particularly well. Which is why what Boom's trying to do when they go top is that you want to basically stop the enemy farming and force them to TP back to defend. You're not actually interested in like going for a Rax push with an Ursa or an Aegis on Storm. You want to fight, you want to get kills, and the best way, you know, to keep your force your enemies to make a play is to deny them of getting any farm. I'm just gonna be careful. There's a Storm that might hunt him. Actually, no, Storm is not the right
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
No Omni behind him, and you get him with that first stun. It's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. He could pop his BKB there and walk back to base safely and, you know,
Dire's
be like, oh,
bottom
he
tower is
BKB'd
under attack.
for nothing. Or, you know, he doesn't and that happens. So, it's a rough one. However, you look at it and XctN just falling a bit flat here in game number 3. I think their draft was okay this game, at least compared to their game 2-1.
Has fallen.
But Boom just outplaying them. So.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is
Yeah, I
under
think
attack.
the Boom high ground approach is just going to be diving tier 4s with Storm and an Aegis Storm, because they just don't kill buildings. Like, it's like you need to just kill the heroes and then you can focus buildings afterwards. So I think at some point they're just like, Yopaj may feel strong enough to just go for some kind of crazy dive. But he'd rather dive heroes outside the base where it's a bit safer. So, I mean, I feel like 2 or 3 minutes ago it was like an 18k gold lead, and I was saying, you know, force them back, starve them out of any farm, and now it's already a 22k gold lead. This gold lead will continue to climb. Even when Aegis expires, like, Boom can just control the entire map, control all the resources on the map. Tino, you know, doing what he can to defend this mid lane. XctN can farm the creeps that come to their base, but they're not farming any jungle cash.
Over here!
Maybe? I'm not sure. I feel like you may get hunted, but... Oh, Bob. He poked his nose out. Yopaj dives high ground. Stop the Omni. Sick.
Staging a comeback!
Got BKB. Oh, nice heals. Oh, the arrow hits Omni. Oh, they're not going to follow it up. They're worried with no Storm BKB. Very disciplined from Boom. Great Yules on the bat.
Gold and sweet.
Yeah, Bob was trying to get the lasso on the Storm respawn, but it was the Sand King who was there with the quick fingers on the Yules. FBZ, we saw it last game, where he had those quick blink fire strikes. Again here.
Here I am!
I love it. This Linken's is so good. It's like the perfect. He's got Lotus and Linken's, and these items are not for him. That Linken's is going on his Storm on his. He wants his Storm to just be able to go diving in, unafraid of lasso. So it makes it crazy. At some point, this is what happens. You see the enemy farming everything on the map, and you know you're just getting further and further behind. At some point, you say, "Screw it, we got to go out and make a play." They're being pinged though because of that D ward, I think. The creeps. Yeah. Oh, the arrow. They're literally arrowing them in smoke. They know exactly where they are. Oh, they're circling them now. They're being read. Jackie's just going to go charging in with max BKB.
going to TA.
Huzzah!
They're playing an RPG game. They forgot to level up stealth. Oh no. It was kind of unfortunate because they had a gem and they went out of their base. The creeps killed the observer ward with the gem. And I think Boom were just like, huh, I don't think there was a sentry there. How does that get
Dire's
dewarded without a
middle
sentry
tower is under
being
attack.
planted? And then they just crit. It's unfortunate, but here we go. One buyback. You're going to get at least a tower and probably one lane of racks here.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Thanks.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Gem on the Marana.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
A little careful. Has that low cooldown and rage. But it doesn't look like Execration can catch anybody here.
Dire's bottom tower is
And
under attack.
If you're Boom, you're thinking about, let's push out some of these lanes and find a way to re-engage. They send FBZ top. They're going to look to reset and regroup. Maybe wait for another Roshan if they really want to play this safe. They're probably still a little rattled. Like, having lost game one to Execration. This team was 0-5. Not to say that they're not scrubs. This is a good team with some really good, skilled players. But, you know, this is Boom. They won the biggest international LAN that's happened in a long time.
The prize vanished.
There it is. The Fiend's Gate to go farm. Oh no, they left him behind. They left Bob behind. Oh. Yeah.
Wooden pop.
I think they're kind of at that. Yeah, 36 points. Every time I look, it's like
Dire's
5. It's
top
gone up by
tower
like
is under
5k.
attack.
I'm just like, okay, if that's not enough to go high ground, it's Ursa pushing high ground, but 36k gold lead is pretty damn big.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It's flying.
Dire's
Get the
middle
fountain.
tower is under attack.
That's the high ground defense. You utilize the fountain, the 6th hero. I mean, it's a bit more than a hero. And you've got Tiny and Batrider repositioning. I think that's the reminder to Boom. Like, okay, there's a Roshan coming up, and, you know, we're pushing into a team with
Radiant are scared.
Tiny Bat. We got to be a little careful.
Zap.
No lasso, though, but they're still chasing. There's Sand King.
I'm over here.
Yep. Hey, can they get Roche? That'd be great for Execration to get Roche. I don't think... I mean, it's still an incredibly hard game to win, but more than anything, deny it from Boom. But I think Boom can contest this, maybe even with 3 heroes. They also have buybacks. Like, a Sand King buyback alone may be enough. This would be a... You know, that 1% hope will become like 5% if they can get this Roshan. They have vision. So much damage, though. Yeah. Just tanked it.
Over here. Let the buzz up. Looking for me. Zip.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Kyra might help him out. It's going to hit Roshan. Will that... I think you just got to go for this if you're Execration. Either fight or Roche. You got to make a play here. All in trouble.
Roshan has fallen.
They got it.
My friends.
No way. Yep. So, detection? Okay, there it is.
I doubt your kin will weep for you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That was the best start we've seen XctN make all game. Like they're playing, they're making moves, they're going out there, they're taking risks. Unfortunately, the deficit is just so big that it feels like maybe it's too little too late, but it's still something. And there's still a cheese in hand in this backpack for Palos. We'll see what moves they can make here. Looks like he's going to fight. Watch out this mid.
Barracks has fallen. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Oh, they see Palos.
Dire's middle tower is
That's
under
Heavenly Grace. Toss back now. They're playing it safe. Jackie's like, I know what happened last time I dived too far. Get the objectives. Taking still this Underlord, and unfortunately Storm is back with a DD for that long range zip. Yep. Here we go.
Dire's bottom
No.
barracks are under attack.
Should be secured. They do. It was a series they got tested in. It went the full 3 games, and game 2,